make up a monologue between the two of us. Like we'd have something, and if it was funny, we'd keep it. If it was nothing, we'd just throw it out. So that's kind of the way I learned it, and that's the way I've done it all my life. So, except I haven't found anything that I really like. So I thought I would tell you about the 2 days it took me to turn 40. Okay? And this is kind of different, so it's fine. All right, so the night that I turned 40, it's like before midnight, I was at my favorite club. It was a heartbreak, and I was sitting up on a banquette, and I was having a beer, and I just thought, okay, fine. Age missed me. I'm done. This is like, bump, I'm done. So, I was so stupid. Anyway, and so I was sitting next to Paulette, and I don't even know who else. Vetus Gerolidis. I have no idea. So I'm sitting there, and I look over, and I go, oh my God, just seeing the cutest guy ever. So I go, Paul, don't look now, but there's this cutest guy ever over there. So of course she looks. And like, you know, women, you know what I'm talking about. So I punched her. So, and he was so cool, and we kind of played hide and seek all night, you know. I was like, actually one time it was so embarrassing. It was kind of like walking around and just whatever, kind of looking, and then I turned around, he's sitting behind me watching me look for him. So anyway, I finally left. So then the next morning, which was the morning of turning 40, I was on the telephone with George Miller, who was the director of Witches of Eastwick. Yes. And I was in my bed, and he was saying, I don't want you. Jack Nicholson doesn't think you're sexy, and you're too old. Yeah, good morning, 40. So tears are like streaming down my eyes, but I didn't want him to know that I was crying, so I was like, just letting tears stream down your eyes, which is what every actress always wants, and it never happens. Happened to me once in Moonstruck. Anyway, so the tears are streaming down my eyes, and I'm just talking to him, and then my kids come in. I'm staying in a hotel, and my kids come in with this giant cake and 2 bellboys, and I'm streaming crying, and then I just get all happy and go, oh my God, I'm so glad you're here, and thank you so much. And so we did that. Okay, so this is my next part. So I had been staying in my friend's hotel, and he loved me, but I had a $28,000 bill and no money. Yeah. Which is always rough. So anyway, so David Letterman had been trying to get me onto his show for like a gazillion years, and I just didn't go because while I admired him, he was an asshole. So, no, did you ever watch it? Like, if he was with someone he respected, he would be really nice, and if he didn't, he would just be shh, and they'd be in parts. So I wouldn't go. So they called me. Someone fell out, and they called, and they were desperate, and said, you know, we could get other people, but we'd really like it if you came. And I said, okay, you need to pay me $28,000. And he went, we don't pay, we pay scale. And I said, well, I guess I won't be coming. So then he said, just out of curiosity, Cher, why haven't you ever come on the show? And I thought for a minute, and then I said, well, because I thought he was an asshole. Okay, so I do David Letterman, and I don't know if you saw it, but I come on like, I'm scraggly, I don't have makeup on, I'm just like in tights and a big shirt or whatever. So I sit down, and we're talking, and David Letterman says, so tell me, Cher, why haven't you ever come on my show? And I realized that he knows. And they say, talking about your life flashing in front of you when you're dead, this is happening to me. Like, what I kept thinking of is if I lie to him, he will know that I didn't have the nerve to say it, and he's gonna have this one-up for me for the whole interview. I started to say something else. Okay. So I'm thinking, this is gonna be awful. He's gonna know that I'm gonna be a big liar if I say anything else. So I go, well, because I thought you were an asshole. And he kind of, I could feel his hair go back, like, and he said, well, for all of this, she just said I was an awfully nice person. And that bothered him for 5 years. I know, because he told me later. So that's my turning 40, and now this is what I have to say. I'm 70, and what's your granny doing tonight?